remember that I am omnipotent and I am always near. He stopped by and said, in the shadow of the Almighty God you stand, because you are kept safe in God's almighty hand. He stopped by and said, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might, because I am omnipotent and I will win this fight. He stopped by and said, your doubts, your debt has been paid, your sins are forgiven. Speak life to yourself, be encouraged, and be about the task of living. Because I gave you life, and more abundantly I give. So seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and you shall live. My brothers and sisters, when he stopped by, it's already done. So, it's a wonderful thing when we pray and ask God to stop by. There are moments when fear locks the doors of our heart, just like the disciples in John 20:19. The disciples locked themselves in that room, yet Jesus still comes in. He steps into the fear and says, peace, be still. When Jesus stopped by, fear loses its authority and peace fills the room. The disciples were hiding in fear after the crucifixion. Jesus did not wait for them to come to him. He came to them. His first words were not corrections, but peace. So, my brothers and sisters, when you are afraid, be aware and know that Jesus can and will stop by. Jesus often shows up in the very place where fear has locked its doors. But the good thing about it? He told the disciples, be of good cheer. It is I. Be not afraid. So, my brothers and sisters, remember, there is a way out of your mess, and it's JESUS.
Where can you buy a brand new Nissan with a lifetime warranty? Kingston Pike. Hey, folks, Gerald Anderson with Ted Russell Nissan. You heard it right. Every new Ted Russell Nissan comes with a lifetime warranty, and that's a long, long time. Ted Russell Nissan on Kingston Pike.
Good morning and welcome to AM 1380 WYSH and Ask Your Neighbor. Ask Your Neighbor can also be heard and seen on our website, WYSHradio.com. And if you are in Anderson, Rome, or Morgan County and have Comcast cable, you can watch Ask Your Neighbor on BBB TV Channel 12. Ask Your Neighbor is the program where you call in and do just that. Ask Your Neighbor. Do you have a comment? Do you have a problem? Or do you have a question? Then call in and ask your neighbor. 865-457-1380 or toll free at 877-711-4005. And for those of you that might be listening or watching on the internet, you can email from our website, WYSHradio.com. Just click on the Contact Us button and email your questions. Now sit back and listen as listeners throughout East Tennessee and the entire world answer your questions on Ask Your Neighbor on BBB TV 12 and AM 1380 WYSH.
Well, if you were tuned in, dial up, listening in just a little bit ago during trading time, you already know what we're going to do today, and that's exactly what we're going to do. So I'm going to air for you the State of the County address that our county mayor gave Tuesday, the 17th, at the Anderson County Commission meeting. I'll take your calls, too. We'll come back. I think it's probably about 20 minutes long. So when we come back after that, we will talk and just whatever you'd like to do. How does that work? Okay. 865-457-1380, 877-711-4005. You good? All right. We'll get to it then. Here is Anderson County Mayor Terry Frank and the State of the county address that she gave. And this was on Tuesday night.
Elected officials, Anderson County colleagues and team members, and honorable citizens. I want to recognize all of you and thank all of you here for your hard work, your partnership, and your collaboration. We work for the taxpayers of Anderson County, and the decisions we make impact the services citizens receive and also their own family finances. Post-COVID inflationary impacts with big pricing spikes in energy and food have made government budgeting more difficult, and this upcoming budget year will be no exception. It will be challenging. I want to especially thank the men and women of Anderson County government in each and every office for working in public service, for being a part of Team Anderson County, and for your understanding of the different kind of organization that local government is. You are important, your work is respected, and you are truly appreciated. Each one of you has a story to tell, a citizen you've helped, a problem you've solved, a disaster you've prevented, a document you found, a crime you have stopped, a life you have changed. As we look back over the last year, how do you pick which story to share? As government, we are made up of people, and sometimes we fail because people sometimes fail. But we strive to achieve, to help, to save, to protect, to educate, to empower, to ensure each citizen may pursue happiness. One such story is about a lady who cared for her dying mother until her passing. During this life-changing event, she found herself losing her job, behind on house payments, and then finally living in her car. She showed up at our senior center. There, she found resources and help. She was assisted in enrolling for food assistance. She was provided access to clothes and glasses. She was connected at first to part-time jobs, then housing, and ultimately, with Anderson County support, she secured a full-time job to get her life back on track. This is just one great story of real people that Anderson County government has helped. Before we look at our year in review, our challenges and our future, I want to take a brief moment to highlight financially how far we've come. I can proudly say we, and that's we, all of us, have taken a county that was upside down on the balance sheet with liabilities exceeding assets that a little more than a decade ago had less than $150,000 in its unassigned fund balance, was forced to enact a spending freeze, and was borrowing through tax anticipation notes to pay employees' salaries at the start of each fiscal year, to a county that is now in a posture to build a new STEM-focused Claxton Elementary School without having to generate new revenue, a posture where we've been able to increase wages approximately 23% cumulatively over the last 5 years, in addition to retention payments. A county that can finally invest in its facilities and infrastructure without passing a tax increase, and a county with an unassigned fund balance that meets levels for emergency funding in case of an economic downturn and earns interest that can be spent on services such as funding infrastructure instead of taxing people more. This kind of progress takes work, partnership, and collaboration. I want to thank county commissioners, both past and present, for the solid advancement, as well as officials and departments countywide. And I want to give a special note of appreciation for the finance department for the work they do, and especially for celebrating 29 years of earning the GFOA Excellence in Financial Reporting. As we start 2026, we are in a solid financial position, the result of conservative budgeting, formalized fund balance policies, and prudent fiscal management. As of fiscal 2025, our available fund balance ratio was 34% of annual revenues, and our liquidity ratio was 55% of annual revenues. We have healthy reserves, a solid economic base, and affordable long-term liabilities. Through grants and county revenues, Anderson County has made public safety and infrastructure a priority, from sheriff's vehicles and pavement to ambulances, highway equipment, investments in water improvements, to additional funding for fire department equipment. Meeting these public safety needs has been top of the list, and we have much more to do. Anderson County's estimated population in 2025 is 82,555, representing a little over 1% growth. Our growth as an entire county is moderate, with the highest percentage growth taking place in the city of Oak Ridge, followed by Oliver Springs, Clinton, then our unincorporated county, Rocky Top, then Norris. As the county looks to continually improve operationally, County Commission has consolidated committees to improve efficiency. Purchasing was combined with Budget Committee. Budget members now sit on Audit Committee. The Nonprofit Committee was reduced in size, and intergovernmental and legislative committees were moved under the purview of Operations Committee. Strategically, the county has joined forces with Commission, the Mayor's Office, and our departments and elected officials to accomplish another strategic planning session, our fourth, where identifying challenges and prioritizing initiatives was discussed and put on paper in a plan. We have proudly either accomplished or kicked off many of those initiatives or projects. To recap some of the work last year, the county came through a tough reappraisal process in our property assessor's office. I say tough because post-COVID, a lot of people across the nation found our beautiful Tennessee. And we've seen an increase in many property values based on these higher sales values. It is welcome news for many, but it has been a sure and certain challenge for some. A quick run through some of the highlights. We conducted a needs assessment with the University of Tennessee as we looked at how to address addiction. Through partnership, we've improved our soccer fields. We approved a new agreement with University of Tennessee for audiology, speech, and pathology for our seniors. We took delivery of a new grant-funded senior van, and we were awarded grant funds for new automatic doors for the senior center. We installed In God We Trust over the new courthouse entrance and added aerial imaging capabilities to the property assessor's office. We became a coalition partner with Pellissippi Blueways, and with their support and the support of Melton Lake Users Association, we won not one, but two grants for improvements of Lost Bottom Park, one from the Tennessee Department of Tourism and one from the Natural Resources Damage Assessment Board of Trustees. We transferred our hazmat truck to Oak Ridge with a partnering agreement. We hired an additional pretrial officer in order to meet the new state requirements to monitor certain offenders for the protection of victims. We approved purchasing new convenience center equipment at New River, a grant for evidence-based programming at the jail, and authorized a new work release program. We partnered with TDEC on some brownfield grants to help the cities and our county. We reestablished the partnership with Mountain View Community Action Commission as they continue to provide care for the people of the community at Mountain View Park. We took the bold step of lowering the occupancy tax, but applying it equally across the entire county. We invested heavily in advertising and media to promote visitors to our trails, our ATV opportunities, our rivers, our lakes, our cities, from Clinton and Oak Ridge to Rocky Top, Norris, and Oliver Springs. We replaced the roof at the health department, and we're working on the roof at the jail. We've seen technology upgrades in the courts, groundbreaking AI in the Register of Deeds office, AI and kiosk upgrades in the clerk's office, and adopted the 2024 building code. Following a dispatch and fire study, we authorized and funded a new position for directing dispatch and a new fire marshal to meet the growing safety needs of the community. We authorized a new shelter advisory committee, increased the fund balance policy to $8 million, and increased the percentage of rollover funds that will go to the capital fund up to 30%, and accepted $250,000 from TVA for a new Claxton Park and $50,000 towards Lost Bottom Park improvements. We've supported what will end up being a new $35 million school in Claxton, and we increased our support for schools, and we've celebrated as they show academic progress across the district, all while adding additional programs like the excavation simulation program at our career and technical school. We've completed the renovation and addition of another patient room at the dental clinic. We've finished one broadband project, and we're awaiting the start of a new one to address the remaining gaps. And we're in the process of a new EMS training facility funded in part through an ARC Power grant. Health Department renovations with nearly $900,000 in funding from the state of Tennessee, environmental work in progress on nearly $3 million in upgrades at Gibbs Ferry Park, with the majority of that funding through Federal Highways FLAP grant, and a new Emergency Operations Center grant with major funding through FEMA and TEMA. This is a great partnership with the City of Clinton. And finally, with work expected to begin next week, the construction of a new animal shelter. This year, our non-ARP grants have reached a record $28,922,507. A noteworthy milestone as we seek partnerships to serve our citizens and keep local taxes stable. And this year has also been a year where we saw big change as Commissioner Mays moved to a new district and Commissioner McNabb was appointed to the vacated seat. There are a few critical advances that I want to draw special attention to, and one is the long-awaited cleanup of the American nuclear site. This massive accomplishment shows what partnership can do, as TDEC, EPA, and Anderson County all pulled in the same direction to address this legacy issue. In August, the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, in partnership with TDEC and Anderson County, announced the completion of a $10.7 million cleanup at the American Nuclear Corporation Superfund site. This wonderful project removed contaminants from our community and closed out a long chapter of environmental risks. Another critical advancement was the structure and grant process for awarding Anderson County's opioid settlement funds. After hosting town halls and with our finance department and the University of Tennessee, the opioid committee scored and recommended a total of $427,444 in awards to 12 different organizations, from supporting awareness to treatment and counseling, housing, transportation, drug disposal, and peer support. And this year, we will see commission with the same targeted approach in addressing addiction. All of these things are important. It is work to be proud of. But one of our ongoing challenges is addiction, and we've still got a lot of work to do. It touches families, children, courts, EMS, law enforcement, and more. We can't take our foot off the gas. Anderson County is a regional leader in manufacturing and capital investment, with 65 plus companies calling our fair county home, including global automotive titans. But we can't stop our work recruiting business and industry that can help our citizens increase their wages and household income and further their own family and life goals. Many are still struggling to keep up, and keeping the impact of taxation low and helping boost wages is critical in the coming days ahead. We also have to find ways to ensure that the wonderful men and women who are the hands and feet of Anderson County government find their work meaningful and rewarding, and we need their wages to be competitive too. This will be a big challenge as we enter our budget season. In the days ahead, the latest strategic workshop identified several priorities for moving forward, including an updated growth plan as we try to balance moderate growth with preservation of our vital rural farm areas, an additional 12-hour ambulance, a capital improvement plan and salary survey, a focus on fire services and housing, and, as I'm doing tonight, regular updates on progress. For our community, this was a year that saw hundreds of thousands of visitors come to the new Aspire Park in Clinton. And it was also a year that saw the epic historical stacks of Bull Run Steam Plant come down, stacks that have been a part of our county landscape since 1967. Change can be difficult. It can stir emotions and create longing for another time of heartwarming memories. Our county is the county that was chosen as ground zero for the first TVA dam construction project. And we were the county, along with our sister county of Roane, chosen to rise to a national call to end the war in what we all know as the Manhattan Project. This last year has seen Anderson County, Roane County, and the city of Oak Ridge work together in unprecedented ways through resolutions and joint meetings to rise to the challenge of meeting the energy, AI, and technology needs of the future. This new call to national mission is a profound opportunity to improve the livelihood of the people who call Anderson County home. And at the same time, yet another chance to see our hardworking people solve national problems. As a result, the location of Bull Run Steam Plant is now the location of Type 1 fusion. And on January 23rd, Centrus just announced a $567 million investment and nearly 430 new jobs for our county. These investments bring prosperity to our families. As a community, this kind of progress, whether it's around nuclear advancement or the stability of fiscally sound local government, creates further opportunities for many of you in the room or at home, from housing and development to retail and recreation. I thank all of you here tonight for your hard work, and I thank our citizens for calling Anderson County home. We each come from different walks of life, different perspectives, different beliefs. But as your government, we are all here working to serve the wonderful people of Anderson County, sometimes with robust debate, sometimes with unanimous decisions. But we love serving you. As we head full steam into 2026, we hope you, our citizens and our departments and our elected officials, will give us input on what accomplishments you would like to see, what goals you would like us to set, and what needs should rank as a priority. Thank you all, and may God bless you, and God bless Anderson County.
Feel it in real life. The noise hits harder. The speed feels borderline illegal. And the roar of the engine shakes your insides. This is Bristol, a place where you can be free, filled with mayhem and full send moments. It's NASCAR, April 10th through the 12th at Bristol Motor Speedway. The Food City 500 triple header race weekend. Grab your vintage NASCAR gear and gather your crew because trust us, this one hits different in person.
It's Bristol, baby! Happy New Year from Hammers. Get your New Year started off right with new bargains from Hammers. Since 1952, Hammers has been bringing low prices and incredible deals to East Tennessee. The Hammers family will continue to make sure that our store provides the same everyday low prices from your favorite brands in clothing and home goods. We want our customers, old and new, to have the same great shopping experience as in the good old days. So come in and check out our famous brands like Carhartt, Wrangler, Columbia, Simply Southern, and many of the latest Lady Boutique brands at Hammers low prices. Redecorating in the new year? Stop by and check out our great selection of area rugs and home decor. So before you shop online, stop in at Hammers, Clinton, Sevierville, Halls, Newcastle, and Wartburg, a hometown retailer that supports the community you live in. Open 9 to 6 Monday through Saturday. And don't forget to check out Hammers Instagram and Facebook. And remember, if you miss a day at Hammers, you'll miss a bargain. Good morning, everybody. It is Ask Your Neighbor time still. I hope you enjoyed the state of the county. Mayor Frank, if there's anything you'd like to add, our phone lines are open. 865-457-1380.
Hello, this is Jaquan Thomas, former Clinton Dragon from the class of 17. I'm a representative at Viles Automotive, located at 905 Callahan Drive, Knoxville, Tennessee. My passion is to place people in a vehicle that is safe, affordable, and fits the budget. Have bad credit? I can help. Looking to establish credit? I can help. Here at Viles Automotive, the process is easy. Instant approval, drive home today. You can call me today at 865-859-0186. This is Jaquan Thomas, and I can help.
Visit VilesAutos.com to explore our inventory and find your perfect match today. That's VilesAutos.com.
This month, Pure Talk is honoring Jackson and Lincoln by offering unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data for just $25 a month. Meanwhile, Big Wireless is honoring Benjamin Franklin by charging families hundreds of dollars for the same 5G service. What's up with that? Ben Franklin wasn't even a president. When you switch to Pure Talk, you'll be in business with an American wireless company that supports our vets in a big way and keeps all their customer service in this country. That's important. And you'll be on the same towers the big carriers use, so you'll get the same 5G service without the inflated price. So hang on to your Benjamins and switch to Pure Talk for a Jackson and a Lincoln. No contract, no hidden fees. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and you'll get 50% off your first month when you switch. That's pound 250, Mike Rowe, for an American wireless company that is truly unprecedented. Pure Talk.
All right, boys and girls and moms and dads, let's see. I believe we got phones going this morning. We'll get right to them. 865-457-1380. Good morning, WYSH. Ask your neighbor.
Well, good morning to you there, Mr. Commissioner.
Well, thank you. That's a little premature, but, we'll see, won't we?
Have you decided on what yard sign you're going to go with?
I think the orange with stars. I think that's where I'm going to go.
I kind of like the red, white, and blue.
I did too. You know what? I actually might do both. I might get some of each.
Oh, okay. Well, are you going to stay with Ronald, or are you going to reduce that down to Ron?
Probably Ron. I did Ronald because that's actually my legal given name, and it's usually what shows up, your legal given name on the ballot. So,
well, when people call in the radio station, though, I don't ever hear them say Ronald.
No, they don't.
It's just plain old Ron.
That's it.
So, you may do a little bit of both, huh?
After looking it over and stuff, I like the red, white, and blue, and I like the orange. I have a hard time making up my mind, so I was talking to my friend that does signs this weekend, and I was like, yeah, shoot me over a proof of each one, the red, white, and blue, and the orange. So we'll see what he should have them to me today or tomorrow, and I'll make my mind up.
Well, I thought it was kind of ironic there, unless it was pre-planned or whatever. And I don't know what day you picked your petition up with. I think Thursday was the deadline, wasn't it?
Thursday was the deadline, yes. I picked mine up on Tuesday. Yeah, I think so. Tuesday.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. I thought it was a little bit later, but I just thought it was ironic that one of your opponents come into the radio station on Friday.
Yeah, no, I had Michael up, and I made the same offer to Ms. Palmer, too.
Oh, okay, then.
Yeah, no, and I also offered them both a pretty substantial amount of free advertising as a donation to each of their campaign.
Oh, wow, okay, then.
Well, again,
can't beat that.
I'm not running against anybody. I don't have a problem. I think I bring something different than either of those two people bring. I think I have, I've spent 40 years in this county running a business. I've had hundreds and hundreds of people that have worked for me. And I think that in doing so, I've learned a whole lot about what people like, what they don't like, what they need, what they want. And I feel like that, put it to you this way, I've been a voice for the county for a long time here at WYSH, and now I can be the voice of folks that live here on commission if they want. It's completely, solely, and absolutely up to them, and I promise you, if I get in there, I will work as hard there as I do here. And, people can do with that what they want, but I'm fiscally responsible. I'm fiscally conservative, and I know how to get things done on the cheap. I've had to do it all my life here at the radio ranch. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Baling wire and duct tape saved my life many times.
Well, I hope that you'll listen to your constituents as well.
Well, if you don't, then you get fired. I mean, why would anybody be stupid enough to want to do this and not listen to people?
Right.
That's what I don't understand. These people, they get elected and they think, somebody said to me the other day, oh, so-and-so's just up there for the power. I said, what power? Oh, Anderson County Commissioner. What? It's like, anybody that thinks that that's powerful doesn't understand what it is. It's a lot of work, a lot of committees, a lot of time to try and leave an indelible mark that makes the county better after you're gone. And I'm doing it for my kids. I want them to stay here. I want them to be able to stay here. I packed up and went west when I was young and made a living and came back and bought businesses. I would like them to be able to accomplish that here without having to go somewhere else to do it.
Well, I got you. Well, I hope that you, if you do get voted in, that you speak your own mind and not just fall in line with what everybody else thinks.
Have you ever known me not to speak my mind?
Oh, you usually do. I'll give you that.
I've gotten in trouble quite a few times for it, and I doubt that will change. I'm old, I'm set in my ways, and I'm going to do things the way that I want to do them. And that's basically, if I am privileged enough to be there and be elected, I'll do what the people want me to do, regardless of what I think. I will say what I think. I will tell everybody what I think, but at the end of the day, if I'm hired, I will be hired by them, and I will be beholden to them, and I will do what I'm asked of them to do.
So, with 3 commissioners running in District 2 now, I mean, if you hadn't, I don't know, I think you 3 the only ones that's running?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Would there still been a primary had you not picked up a petition?
Yeah, there would have been a primary. The names on the ballot and voted, but those 2 would have been the Republican candidates, and most likely, I don't think there's a Democrat that's picked up. They would have been re-elected back into the seats they currently hold.
Okay, that's what I was kind of thinking. But the Republican primary, isn't that in May?
It is the 5th, I believe.
So that's just right around the corner.
It is, yeah. It is. And at first, when I first decided to do it, I said, well, I'm not going to buy signs. I'm not going to do this. But I don't want people to think that I'm lazy or arrogant or whatever and think that I'm just going to walk in, because I'm not. But sincerely, I know people are going to think I'm just talking, but sincerely, I'm offering my time and whatever knowledge that I have to serve. I don't look at it as a job. I don't look at it as anything that's going to be helpful to me. And I tell you what, it was a really hard decision. That's why it took me right down to the last minute to decide if I was going to do it. And I spoke to a lot of people. Every signature that I've got that I turned in, with the exception of 8 signatures, every signature with the exception of 8, and somebody got those 8 for me. They took them to their friends. I spoke to every single individual.
Okay.
I wanted them to tell me either, tell me I should or I shouldn't, or tell me why, what they felt like needed a, change in the county. So I've listened and talked to a lot of people, and let me tell you something. I have friends that politically on a national scale, we are polar opposites that support me on a local scale because they know that, I'm going to try and do what's right for the county. And so I spoke to a lot of people with a lot of opinions and a lot of different sight, the way that they see things. And I tried to listen to all of them, put it all together, shake it up, and there you go. Put my name in the hat. That's all you can do.
Well, what area does District 2 cover?
It's basically the city. You've got Clinton, South Clinton, and then it goes right down the interstate, and then you've got that little, that little round part up at the top there by the Toyota dealership, the Rogers Group, all that property up there. But it's mainly Clinton, South Clinton.
Part of District 2?
Pardon?
All that's part of District 2?
It is, yes, sir.
Oh, okay, then.
So you've got the city, and then you've got South Clinton. You got inside the city of Clinton, the South Clinton, down the interstate, and then up by the top of the interstate, or down the boulevard and up at the top of the interstate.
Oh, okay, then. Okay. Well, you gonna buy any advertisement? Oh, you are the advertisement. Okay.
If I have ads run, I will definitely pay for them. Yes.
Oh, there you go then. Well, one other thing I was going to bring up, and I'll get off here, is I know I called in one day last week and talked to you just a minute after hours, but that burn, I was asking if anybody got hurt in that wreck,
and then there was another one.
There was another one the next day.
Yeah, I was right in the midst of both of them coming home. The first one, I was far back in line because traffic was backed up quite a bit. The second one, I rolled right up on before any emergency services or anybody had gotten there. In fact, the first responders got there as I was getting ready to turn into the subdivision. So I couldn't tell if anybody was hurt. I didn't see that. But like I said, they rolled up right as I was turning in. So.
Well, do you think that if the red light was up, both those wrecks could have been prevented?
Both of them was somebody pulling out in front of somebody. At least, well, I shouldn't say that. I don't know that for absolute sure. That's what it looked like when we got up on them. So a red light would have mitigated part of that, I think, helped.
Okay. When did David say that they would get that box in or whatever?
I actually went down and sat and talked with the mayor and the city manager.
Oh, okay.
And the whole thing that we're waiting on is just the components, basically. And we don't. I think they're hoping that we can get in there maybe April, possibly May. They don't really know, and we don't control the components, So, which is I thought was odd that it almost sounds like there's just one place we could get them. But that said. They could come in today, or they might be as long as April or May.
So is that the state?
Is what the state?
That controls the components and everything.
You know what? I don't think so. I think that I'm pretty sure the city did this with the state's approval. So it's the city doing it, not the state.
Oh, okay. Well.
And David or Scott or Roger or one of them that are listening can call and correct me, whatever I'm messing up on. But we did talk about it, and they did tell me, that they've done everything that they could do to get everything ready. And I mean, they've run the electricity up to it. They've got everything ready to go. All they got to do is put those components in, and it'll be rip roaring and ready. We'll have the red light.
Well, it looks like they would have ordered those components there. I mean, a little earlier or something, but that's just me. I don't know. I don't know the process. I know everything takes time anymore.
And again, I don't know what the holdup is. I doubt very seriously they were negligent in ordering the components. I'd say they ordered them as they were supposed to. It's just probably supply and demand, what we've been what we've been dealing with ever since COVID.
Oh, okay. But I saw where our friends down at Hammocks, I guess they paid TSSAA to where Dragon Vision will be televised from up there. What I read, it was like for district games, it's $200 per team, and then when it gets to the region level, it's like $500.
Yeah, it gets expensive. That's when we were meeting with Robbie Harrell and Josh Reed. That's one of the things we were talking about because, we're taking over Dragon Visions. That's one of the things that they were talking about, having to pay that money, and they have to pay it whether or not it's involved with the school, which I think is right now. Dragon Vision is nonprofit. I don't think that folks like that, I don't think they ought to have to pay when they're nonprofit, but they do. I mean, and we will for sure. Definitely, we will. They charge us for the radio. They'll charge us for anything they can get. But yeah, so when we do it, they have to pay it, and we'll definitely have to pay it.
Well, when it gets up and going, I mean, will you still have Dragon Vision and the radio?
It's going to be exactly like it is, except it'll be Walt and it'll be actual professionals on there doing the call, the play-by-play. We will pay people. Right now, Matt was obviously he was in the meeting too. Sometimes he has to do everything himself. He can't get people to come do it. Again, it's hard to get people to come out when you can't pay them or when you don't pay them. So part of us being able to do it is that we can hold people accountable because we'll be paying them. So they'll show up to run the cameras, or they'll show up to do they won't have to show up to do the play-by-play because Walt will be doing that. But it should work a little bit smoother in so much as having consistency in people there. And I've had a number of folks that work with Dragon Vision already contact me and ask me, if they could continue to do the things that they do, and they're very excited about coming on board. So it should all work out positive. I think that the school's idea, Robbie and Josh's idea, is a good one, and I'm excited to work with them. They're going to build a media center and all kinds of things up there in the high school. They really have some great vision, and this is part of it.
Well, good. Then what I usually do, if they do put it on Dragon Vision, and I stream that on my computer, and then I turn Jasper and Walt on.
A lot of people do that. I've had call after call after call about that. In fact, James David, they were listening. Oh, my goodness gracious. I got to tell you this. You'll appreciate it. James David lost a bet. He bet, what's Bradley's brother's name? Anyway, he bet one of his teammates on varsity that they couldn't make 6 3-pointers in a game. And the bet was, if they did, that James David would cut all of his hair off.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
So Saturday morning, I took James David down on Leinert Street across from the courthouse, and a number of his basketball playing friends showed up. And James David, if you could see that is James David. From his hair is short. It's short as mine right now. So
that was Eli that made 6 of those threes in that game.
Eli, that's exactly right. And he came. James David pleaded with him for mercy, but there was none. And he told me, he said, "I've learned a valuable lesson, Dad.
I've never seen him with hair that short."
He's never had short hair since he was a little bitty boy. I mean, toddler. He's had long hair. So it looks good,
though. A little bit more comfortable for him here coming up springtime and stuff.
He was he got used to it a little bit over the weekend, and then he played in his rec ball league Sunday night, excuse me. And I asked him what people said. He said everybody said that they liked it, and so he was a little bit apprehensive this morning going to school. But he's been sending me pictures. So I think he's doing okay. So
well, his hair actually looks darker.
It does look darker. I noticed that too. It did look darker. So when he got
that was because Bryson Maddox, Coach Lockhart said that he probably could have played. He was only like 85%.
Yeah.
But he's been working hard, and he said being how it wasn't an elimination game, he didn't want to take a chance on him. So
it was
put him out, and Eli Slavin come in and drilled 6 threes.
Yeah. And it was funny, too, because James David was doing what he had Dragon Vision on his phone, and he had Walt and Jasper on the radio. And he was like, when they had a bet, it started out that if Eli made 4, James David would cut his hair, and James David got to pick the cut. But if he made 6, James David would cut his hair, and Eli got to pick the cut. And it was funny because when the game was over, James David he really started fretting it. He was worried, but he came in. He said, "Dad, what size guard do you use on your hair?" And I said, "I use a 5." And he was like, "Oh my gosh!" I was like, "Why?" He goes, "Eli says I got to use a 3." I said, "Oh man." So,
oh gosh!
But it was Jaden was there, Bradley was there, Eli was there. There was a couple other players that came in, and I don't know if it was to support him or to tease him.
Did he go to the game?
No. Hey, they were. In fact, a bunch of them were over at the house. I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I had 6 teenage boys at my house this weekend.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
I was going to say, if he'd have been up at the game, he could have hollered at the Dragon players, "Don't throw him the ball no more."
Well, he said he kept thinking that after he'd hit so many, we were doing so well, he thought that Coach might take him out. And he said, I didn't want to root for him to be taken out. He said I was conflicted. I wanted to see him do it, but I didn't want to cut my hair.
Well, I mean, that was just a one-sided bet, wasn't it?
Evidently, because I didn't think about asking him what he would have got if he didn't hit it all season. So.
Oh well, that's funny.
I told him, I said you can try. I said you can try and mitigate your loss, maybe negotiate with him, and he said no. He said, "Dad, I made the bet. I got to keep my word, as bad as I hate to." I said, "No, you got to keep your word. I agree with that." But he did. He tried to talk Eli into letting him keep it a little longer, and he was like, "Nope, that's a bet."
Number 3 on the guard.
Yeah, it's short. At one point, the lady that was cutting James David's hair asked Eli, said, "Is this short enough?" And he was like, "Yeah, it's short enough." So.
Oh gosh. Well, he better be a little more selective about his bets from now on.
Oh, you can rest assured. That's a lesson that lesson will stick with James David for a long time.
And he's learned it.
He might get mad at me for telling, but all of his teammates were there. He had big crocodile tears coming down his face. He was trying his best.
Bless his heart.
Yeah, he'd never had short hair. He never.
Oh, gosh.
So he was worried, but I was proud of him for keeping his word, and I hope he learned a valuable lesson.
Yeah, no kidding. But has he ever? During these years after he's had all this long hair, has he ever had it trimmed or anything?
Oh yeah, he keeps it. He keeps it trimmed. He used to wear it about shoulder length. It didn't get down. It's kind of on his back now, but he used to wear it when he was young. He wore it shoulder length or so. So, but it's always been long. He's always had long hair when he was real little, especially like when he was playing with the Blaze. People would think that he was a girl. Like, look here he is. I think he's 2 or so there. You can see how long his hair is there. That's about as short as his hair has ever been right there. Before today.
Does Jacob have long hair, too?
Jacob did have long hair. Jacob got his hair. Jacob's got a mullet, and he's got the real deal mullet. He told me this weekend he wants to go get a haircut. Yeah. He's got a mullet, buddy.
That's when he was 2.
I think they're 2. Let me see, maybe 3. I'm trying to.
Okay then.
So.
Well, the good thing about it is tell him that it may take a while, but it will grow back if that's what he wants.
That's what I told him.
He get used to this being short.
I can remember as a kid being around his age. I went and lady that cut my hair. She cut my hair up in Campbell County for my whole life when I was a kid. But I don't remember what happened. But she cut it different one time, and I thought I was mortified. And I can remember going to school thinking everybody's going to think I look like a crazy person, but nobody even noticed. You know, they'll notice James David's because it's been long, but I have a feeling he's already okay because he's sending me silly pictures. So you know, I think he's all right.
He'll get some comments today.
I'm sure that he will.
Oh, well, like I say, he may have learned a valuable lesson. You know what they always say, you know, don't let your alligator mouth overload your hummingbird tail.
Boy, you better believe it. So, and James David is, I mean, he's a spark plug. He'll aggravate his teammates. He cheers them on and stuff, but he does stuff like that bet and stuff like that a lot. I think it'll temper him just a little bit.
I'm sure it will. I'm sure it will. But, well, like I say, valuable lesson learned. You guys have a good day up there at the ranch. Try to stay warm.
Thank you, pal. Just bundle up, throw another log on the fire. That's what we're going to do.
Well, I think it's supposed to warm up, Wednesday?
Wednesday, yeah. And then by the time we get to the weekend, we're going to be tickling 70 again, 65, 68 degrees.
Oh, good deal. I Googled up just out of curiosity because I can never remember, but I think it's 2 a.m. on March the 8th.
Yep, the 9th.
Savings.
Yep, going that weekend, whatever that weekend is. I think, yeah, it's good. Saturday night the 7th into Sunday morning the 8th.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Can't wait for that and warmer weather both.
From your mouth to God's ear, I'm right with you, Mike.
All righty, Ron. Enjoy the rest of your day, brother.
You too. Bye-bye.
All right, bye.
Yeah, it was traumatic for a moment. I felt for him. I did. But he had to do it. You got to keep your word. But I think it looks good. I like him with short hair, but it'll take him a minute or two to get used to it. 865-457-1380 or 877-711-4005. If you'd like to weigh in, jump in. If you've got anything you'd like to add in, we'd love to have you. That's why we do the program. I'll take a quick break. Let's see here how long I'm going to break. Okay. I'll take this break, and then when I come back, we'll put you on the radio or we'll wrap things up for the day. Starting our Monday morning off right. Hopefully you're good and warm. I'm going to take a sup of coffee and we'll be back.
Hello, this is Jaquan Thomas, former Clinton Dragon from the class of 17. I'm a representative at Viles Automotive, located at 905 Callahan Drive, Knoxville, Tennessee. My passion is to place people in a vehicle that is safe, affordable, and fits the budget. Have bad credit? I can help. Looking to establish credit? I can help. Here at Viles Automotive, the process is easy. Instant approval, drive home today. You can call me today at 865-859-0186. This is Jaquan Thomas, and I can help.
Visit vilesautos.com to explore our inventory and find your perfect match today. That's vilesautos.com.
Hey folks, Jay Carter here, inviting you to join me every Saturday morning at 6 a.m. for the Saturday Morning Classics. I play those classic country songs that radio has long forgotten about, songs from the 1940s all the way to the early 90s, and I take requests. And stick around for the Saturday's trading time starting at 9 a.m., and then during the 10 o'clock hour, it's Shylock's Bluegrass Picks, an hour of bluegrass music sponsored by Shylock's Pawn Shop. That's every Saturday from 6 a.m. to 11 a.m. right here on WYSH.
You've seen it on your phone. Now, feel it in real life. The noise hits harder. The speed feels borderline illegal. And the roar of the engine shakes your insides. This is Bristol, a place where you can be free, filled with mayhem and full send moments. It's NASCAR, April 10th through the 12th at Bristol Motor Speedway. The Food City 500 triple header race weekend. Grab your vintage NASCAR gear and gather your crew because trust us, this one hits different in person.
It's Bristol, baby!
Happy New Year from Hammers. Get your New Year started off right with new bargains from Hammers. Since 1952, Hammers has been bringing low prices and incredible deals to East Tennessee. The Hammers family will continue to make sure that our store provides the same everyday low prices from your favorite brands in clothing and home goods. We want our customers, old and new, to have the same great shopping experience as in the good old days. So come in and check out our famous brands like Carhartt, Wrangler, Columbia, Simply Southern, and many of the latest Lady Boutique brands at Hammers low prices. Redecorating in the new year? Stop by and check out our great selection of area rugs and home decor. So before you shop online, stop in at Hammers, Clinton, Sevierville, Halls, Newcastle, and Wartburg, a hometown retailer that supports the community you live in. Open 9 to 6 Monday through Saturday. And don't forget to check out Hammers Instagram and Facebook. And remember, if you miss a day at Hammers, you'll miss a bargain. All right, let's get back to it. Telephone's ringing. WYSH, ask your neighbor. Good morning.
Yeah, Mr. Meredith.
Hey, David Queener, how are you, my friend?
Doing good. I was looking at a report I've got in front of me here that on the traffic signal at Mariners Point, on the cabinet being there, it says by mid-end of March.
Okay.
Shipping date. So maybe they'll get it in here to us. But no, it's not. I don't think the state of Tennessee has anything to do with it. It's just from a company.
Okay. Cool. Why?
We had to go through the same ordeal at the interstate. When we put the red lights up there, we had forever getting that cabinet in. I don't know what the deal is, what the holdup is, but we had to go through the same process.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. I mean, it's not anything done untimely or whatever, but just the way that it is, I guess.
Yeah.
Good. Well, thank you.
So I don't know if there's only one place that makes these cabinets. I don't have any idea. But I guess that it comes along with who gets the bid and awarded the bid, where they get them from. So
maybe I'm going crazy, but I thought somebody told me that part of the components came from the Ukraine. And did you hear that, or did I dream that, David?
I have not heard that. I will try to ask that. Matter of fact, I'll ask it tonight. I'll ask Bill Riggs, because he's probably over the project.
I might be going crazy.
Where the cabinets come from, if we know, I'll try to find out.
Like I said, I might have dreamed that. I don't know. I went down and I had the opportunity to talk with Scott and Roger the other day, and we were talking about the cabinets, and it's just the way that it is. There's nothing no one can do. We just have to wait till they get them done and sent to us.
Yeah, it's just part of supply and demand, and you just have to get in line and wait your turn.
But boy, the need was demonstrated last week, wasn't it?
It sure was. It's been demonstrated for a long time. I mean, we just didn't, the way the rules were, or the way the state of Tennessee looked at it, it didn't warrant a traffic signal. I never understood why, but it didn't. But it does now. So it's evident that we're putting one up. We've got everything up. I mean, ready to go. It's just waiting on that one piece. And I don't know, once we get that one piece, I'm sure it'll take a day or two to get everything tied together. Then we'll probably go through 2 or 3 days of flash and yell us to try to warn everybody about the traffic signal and, to get ready for it. And it'll be up and running.
I'll tell you something that I really appreciate y'all putting up is the stop sign there going into the community center at South Clinton, going into over there. That was definitely needed, and right there coming over that hill, that was definitely needed, and I appreciate that. James David plays ball over there on Saturdays or Sundays, depending on how that rec league works out. And it was always a crapshoot pulling out after you'd been over there. You'd pull them back out onto the road. It was all you couldn't see back over the hill behind, out to your left.
Yeah.
You point out, but that stop sign was good.
We've tried to address some problems in South Clinton. Hey, you asked me a question today, and I told you, I don't know if you said anything about it or not after I seen you, and I told you over in South Clinton on the sidewalks.
Yes.
The sidewalk project that's going on is an in-house project that our Public Works is doing, and it's going to go all the way from where it's at today all the way to Blockhouse Valley,
and then it's going to go all the way down to Aspire Park with a crossing, and there will be a traffic signal at Aspire Park that you can walk from, right in there to Aspire Park and walk over, and I'm sure there'll be a crosswalk there that you could cross the street and cross over to Aspire Park. So they are going to connect sidewalks, and I would just say this: for some people over in South Clinton want sidewalks, most of the people over there own the property where the sidewalks would go. So you got to get everybody together to give up property to put a sidewalk on your property.
Well, I think it's great you guys are doing what you're doing, and I hope folks in South Clinton appreciate it, because for a long time they kind of felt like they were getting the raw end of the stick, but there's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of good stuff going on over there, both with Aspire and now the sidewalks and all the stuff that we're doing, you guys are doing in-house. So thank you.
I would just keep on. All you can do is work at it. That's all you can do.
Yes, sir.
All you can do is work at it. Man, this weather's crazy. I'll be glad when it decides one way or the other what it's going to do.
Yeah. I started to say the weather must be female because it never knows which way to go, but I'm not going to say that.
Me neither. It is. It's just crazy weather. One day you're in the 60s and 70s, and next day in the 20s and 30s.
I know. It was crazy.
It's East Tennessee weather, and it's we're old enough, we should know better. That's how the weather is around here.
I'm glad that we did not get what they got bombarded with up on the East Coast. They got 10, 12 inches of snow up there in New York.
Man, if we'd have got that, we'd have been paralyzed for weeks around here.
We would have. It definitely would have.
We sure would have. We'd have been paralyzed for weeks. So, anyway, we'll just rock on with it. It'll warm up eventually, and you know what we'll be saying, man, I can't wait till it gets fall and it cools down a little bit.
Now, you won't hear me say that. I don't think, I've said, whoo, it's hot, but you know what? I go flop my big old tail end into the pool, into the river, into the lake. If there's water, I don't care how hot it is.
I heard that, but I know several people that'll say that, and and those same people are saying, "Man, I can't wait till it gets warm weather."
Yeah, and then it'll be too hot.
And then it'll be too hot when it's 100 degrees out here, and you can't even stand it in the shade. So, like I said, it's God's country around here that we live in, and Tennessee, and we get God's weather, and all I can say is put another layer on today, and tomorrow take another layer off.
That's Jim Harris used to say that.
I don't know any other way to say it. Just grab another layer and put it on, or when it warms up, just take another layer off, and let's roll with it, baby.
That's what Jim used to say. He'd say, he'd dress in layers all the time. It'd be cold in the morning, it'd be hot in the afternoon. He'd just start shedding clothes.
You know what they say, if it's cold and you ain't got it on, when it warms up, you can't take it off. You got to have it on.
That's true.
You can always dress warm and take it off as it warms up. That's one thing that you can do. But if you ain't got it on, you can't take it off or put it on either one. So it's better off to put it on than take it off as you warm up.
Well, we'll be up 65, 68 degrees by the time we get to the weekend. I think we'll be in mid-50s, if not 60, by Wednesday. So if we weather through today and tomorrow, we'll be all right.
Yep. So you ready for your campaign?
Petition turned in, qualified. Yeah, and I guess I'm as ready as I'm ever going to be. I reckon. I guess. I've extended invitations to my opponents, offered advertising, and them to come on the show, as Michael did Friday, and I'm glad that he did. I thought we had a good conversation. So we'll see. And like I said, I'm not running against anyone. I don't have any problems with anyone. I think I've got a skill set that nobody has right there. I don't think they've got something I don't have. I think I've got something they don't have, and then we'll see what people want.
Well, that's what you do. You give people a choice.
That's it. And I've got thick skin, you know that. So whatever the people in this county want, I'm happy for them. I mean, I know what I want. I know what I vote, and whatever the folks want. Here's what I feel like I can bring a different perspective on finances to the table in an effort to fund things that we need, discontinue things we don't need, get the sheriff the money that he needs. And I think it can be done without having to go back to the taxpayer. That's it in a nutshell. That's what I want to get down and dirty and really start crunching numbers to find out where money has went, what we've done with it. Where can we move funds from one place to another? Where can we save money? That's what I want. If I could get in there and get the departments what they need, certainly the sheriff's department, what the sheriff needs, get those folks moved up to a wage that is competitive with everybody else, I will be happy with the job that I've done. I'm sure there'll be many other things come up if I am elected that I have to deal with, but that's what I want to do. I want to provide. I feel like that there is enough money going into our government right now that we should be able to do the things needed to be done without having to go back to the citizens. We're already one of the highest tax counties in the state of Tennessee out of the 95. So, I mean, if you're already at the top of taxation, you certainly don't want to add on to that. And you ought to be able to do the things that other counties do with less tax dollars. So that's my goal. We'll see if it works. The voice of WYSH could be the voice of District 2 if that's what they want.
I heard that. You said it right. To either find the money or you will have to go to the taxes for the sheriff's department and help them out a little bit. I just hope we don't get Russell in a bind that we get down to where it's really critical. I think they need to make a decision now and go ahead and give him some money now and let him do something now to try to stop the leak if he can. And I don't know whether he can or not. He knows more about the situation than I do. I can only go off what I hear him, how I hear him speak, and so he seems like he's pretty urgent of what he needs today. So I think they've got to make a big decision coming up here. I think they've got a big decision to make here quickly. I think in the next 30 days, maybe.
Well, did you get to hear Michael on Friday? One of the things that we talked about, and he feels like it's probably going to be we're going to get it. They probably will address it in the next budget cycle, which means that means Russell's not going to get the right now money that he needs. But I don't. That's just him and me talking. That wasn't he didn't say that's what he wanted to do. He didn't say that's what he was pushing to do. He just said he felt like that's what was going to happen. So I don't know. If they did it now, they'd have to give him one-time money and then go to work on the budget. And that's kind of what I thought they would do. I kind of thought they'd take it out of the fund to give him one-time money. I know it's for reoccurring expenses, and that's not the best thing to do. But if Russell feels like that everybody is already a yes, they're just trying to figure out a way to do it. If that is truly the case, then I would do the one-time money and find the rest of it in the budget cycle. I think people are worried about re-election, which I hope they're not. I hope they'll do whatever they feel is the right thing with or without being reelected or elected. But I think that's clouding the water a little bit because elections are coming up, and now we're talking about tax increases. So.
Yep. Well, like I said, I don't know if Russell can keep the Band-Aid on it or not. I mean, he's the only one that knows that, and he has no problem telling you that. And I've heard him. I'm almost 100% certain I heard him say that he couldn't wait.
He did.
He couldn't afford to wait.
He did.
So we'll just have to see, I guess.
Well, at the end of the day, what are the things that are most important? He'll have to staff and run the jail. He don't have a choice about that. He has to do that. And then the courts, getting people back and forth to court, you have to do that. You don't have so what will suffer? Patrol. That's what will suffer. And hopefully we don't come to that, because that, if you've heard me say it over and over like a broken record, you don't realize until you need them how much you need them. And so I would hate for that to be the end. And that's just me talking. I don't know that the sheriff would agree or disagree with me on that, but it would appear to me that that's what would suffer is your patrol units.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right. And, like I said, tough times, you got tough decisions to have. I'm glad I ain't got nothing to do with it.
I don't know why I want something to do with it, but I feel like I can help.
I understand. Well, you gotta feel like you can help, and all I can say is good luck, and let's go.
Thank you, David. I appreciate you.
All right. See you, buddy.
See you, buddy. Bye-bye. 865-457-1380 or 877-711-4005. Did you guys get to hear David WYSH's show Thursday? Bradley was here, Bradley Reeves from the, I think it's Smoky Mountain Historical Society. And he is just a wealth of information and historical facts and artifacts. He's got some cool stuff. I think David took him over and gave him some more stuff Thursday. But he left these CDs with me that he had made. And I'm sometime this week or in the upcoming weeks, we didn't get to play hardly. I think we played 4 or 5 cuts off of him, but he's got, I got an entire Kaz Walker show from 1956, 57. Yeah, 1956 and 1957. And this is from when Mr. Walker had a program on WIVK. We found recordings of Bill Owens, Dolly's uncle, and Dolly from 1953, I think he said. I can't remember, but I've got all that. So we'll revisit some of that later on this week or down the road. But I've got that to look forward to. I really enjoyed that. I hope you guys did too. And if you didn't get a chance to see it or listen to it, you can pull it up on BBB TV 12, Brad's site. He's got them archived there. So, and I think they're on our they are on our Facebook page, and they stay on our Facebook page for at least 30 days until Facebook takes them off. But Brad's got them on YouTube and everywhere else forever and ever. Amen. All right, I'll take final break, 60 seconds. Then I'm going to come back, and then I'm going to talk to you, and we're going to have some fun, and we'll wrap things up and move on to great classic hit country music. Whatever you all would like to do is exactly what I'm going to do.
You've seen it on your phone. Now, feel it in real life. The noise hits harder. The speed feels borderline illegal. And the roar of the engine shakes your insides. This is Bristol, a place where you can be free, filled with mayhem and full send moments. It's NASCAR, April 10th through the 12th at Bristol Motor Speedway. The Food City 500 triple header race weekend. Grab your vintage NASCAR gear and gather your crew, because trust us, this one hits different in person.
It's Bristol, baby! Happy Monday. It's a cold, raw winter morning with wind chill values single digits, teens, and 20s. We only climb into the 30s with wind chill values in the 20s all day. Light snow showers this morning, slowly tapering off as we get into the afternoon and evening hour. And great news, my friends. Master Battery is offering select automotive ultra power batteries for only $85 with your old battery trade-in. Give them a call today, 865-947-1500. I'm meteorologist Mike Witcher from the East Tennessee Weather Center for AM 1380, FM 101.1, and FM 99.5 WYSH.
Have a great day. Thank you so much for tuning in, dialing up, listening in. What can I do for you? Let me know. I'll be happy to try and help. If you're a business, you're out there, and you would like to join us, I promise you, and I encourage you to check me out on this. Advertising with us works. Your return on investment is very, very healthy, and it works. People listen to the radio station. Hopefully we provide a service, news, weather, sports, local stuff that you guys enjoy. We're always open to listening. We're going to try some new stuff this year. Yes, our partnership with the school. I think we're going to have some flag football. We might even have some volleyball. I don't know. Walt, if it were up to Walt Stair, he'd be at the school right now calling whatever is going on. He loves it, and we love him for it. And I'm so glad that he does. He doesn't grouse about it and go on. He loves it. And as a Clinton alumni, we love having him do it. But yeah, Walt's, he'll do softball, baseball, basketball, football, soccer, track, you name it. If it's a sport at Clinton High School, Walt would be very happy to do it. So also, too, we're going to be able to, with the addition of Dragon Vision, we're going to be able to expand stuff that we do because we'll have some extra people to go out and do it. So we look forward to that, and always look forward to hearing from you what you'd like us to do and what you'd like us to cover and what if we do something you don't like, call and tell us, If we do something you do like, call and tell your friends and ask them to listen with you. See you later. Have a great Monday. Stay warm. Throw another log on the fire, and we'll make it to Wednesday. We'll get through it.
Thank you for listening to AM 1380 WYSH and Ask Your Neighbor. Make sure you tune in at 10 a.m. each day, Monday through Friday, right here on AM 1380 WYSH and BBB TV 12. Or listen live online at WYSHradio.com. And remember, if you have a question, comment, or